Hello, good morning, children. Welcome back to the online classes. In the previous session, we have started the new lesson that is quality. Let us continue. In the earlier session, I left you at the point while the author was describing the appearance of Gazelle brother, right? The author would visit Gazelle shop often and he would greet by asking, "How do you do?" And I would say, "How do you do, Mr. Gazelle? Could you make me a pair of Russian leather boots?" He would request to prepare Russian leather boots. At that time, without a word, he would leave me, retiring whence he came. Without delay, the owner, Gazlev brother, would go into the room or into the other portion of the shop, and I would continue to rest in the wooden chair, inhaling the incense of his trade. The author would rest on the wooden chair. He would observe how the trade would take place in Gazler's shop. Soon he would come back, holding in his hand a piece of gold brown leather. Gazler's brother would come back with leather in his hand, with eyes fixed on it. He would remark, "What a beautiful piece." After bringing the leather from the other portion of the shop, Gazler brother would remark that, "What a beautiful piece." When I too had admired it, he would speak again, "When do you want them?" When author would agree that it is having good quality, leather of having good quality, then Gazler brother would ask, "When do you want them?" He would speak again, "When do you want them? When are you expecting those?" And I would answer, "Oh, as soon as you conveniently can." Then author would agree for the order, "As soon as you are conveniently." And he would say, "Tomorrow fortnight." Gazler brother would give the timeline that tomorrow fortnight, or if he were his elder brother, I will ask my brother. If there is elder brother, they would discuss both together and agree for the order, right? Then I would murmur, "Thank you." The author would thank them for the acceptance of order for the manufacturation of the boot. He would greet, "Good morning, Mr. Gessler." Then there would be reply, "Good morning." He would reply, still looking at the leather in his hand. Gessler brother would observe that the quality of the leather, and as I moved to the door, I would hear the tip tap of his slippers going up the stairs. When the author would vacate the shop, at that time he would hear the tip tap sound of the stairs, that he would climb up the stairs to his dream of boots. He would go the workplace, right? Next paragraph, here it continues. I cannot forget that day on which I had occasion to say to him, "Mr. Gessler, that last pair of boots creaked, you know." The author remembered the last occasion when he visited Gessler's shop for the complaint. He stated that last pair of boots creaked, you know. Creak means make harsh, high pitched sound. Then Gessler brother looked at author with a silent expression. He looked at me for a time without replying, as if expecting me to withdraw or qualify the statement, then said, "It shouldn't have creaked." That is in German accent. "It did, I am afraid." Then author replied that they were bad at quality. "It did, I am afraid." "You got them wet before they found themselves?" Then Gessler brother asked that, "You got them wet before they found themselves?" "I don't think so." Then Arthur answered, "I don't think so." At that he lowered his eyes. At that time Gessler brother lowered his eyes as if hunting for memory of those boots, and I felt sorry I had mentioned this grave thing. The author felt sorry for complaining about boots. Then Gazeler brother requested send them back. He said, I will look at them. Gazeler brother requested author to bring the boots which were bad at quality to verify them. Some boots, he continued slowly, are bad. Some boots, he continued slowly, are bad from birth. If I can do nothing with them, I take them off your bill. If they are bad at quality, I will return your money. That was the last statement. Right? Next one. Once I went absent mindedly into his shop in a pair of boots bought in an emergency at some large firm. The author remembered another incident which took place in Gazler's shop. He visited his shop. The author visited Gazler's shop and ordered for boots. He bought a pair of boots in an emergency. He took my order without showing me any leather. Gazler brother took order without showing any leather, and I could feel his eyes penetrating the inferior covering of my foot. Here, penetrating means fierce, right? The author felt that guilty because those were not Gazler boots, right? At last he said, those are not my boots. Next, the tone was not one of anger nor of sorrow, not even of contempt. The way of expression of Gazler brother was not of anger nor of sorrow, even it was not of contempt. Contempt means worthless. But there was in it something quite that fronched the blood. Something was really worried about the boots. He put his hand down and pressed a finger on the place where the left boot was not quite comfortable. He verified the boot which was not comfortable. Then he stated, It hurts you there. It hurts you there, he said. Those big those big firms have no self-respect. And then, as if something had given way within him, he verified the boots and came to know that the fault of the manufacturer. He spoke long and bitterly. It was the only time I ever heard him discuss the conditions and hardship of his trade. The owner, Gazler brother, discussed with Arthur that the conditions of his trade. This is about today's session. Read these paragraphs. Let us continue the lesson in the next session. Thank you. Have a nice day.